Salam alaikum, just a short advice to the federal government.
I'm not trying to be disrespecting our malams, but I just want this thing to be cleared, because there are good malams and there are bad malams, and there are incompetent malams. I'm giving federal government an advice that they should look into all these malams that are misleading people in the mosques and saying all kind of nonsense, putting people into problem. They should look at them very well. Every governor in every state should look at their malams, and whatever they are going to preach, somebody must look at it. They will not just be preaching and misleading people and putting people into problem. People gathering in the mosques, and a malam, an incompetent malam, some incompetent malam will be misleading people and causing problems, causing nonsense, causing chaos in Nigeria. All these things has to stop. We have to look at it. If nobody's talking about it, somebody must talk about it. They have to look at it, and they have to caution all these things that is happening, because enough is enough of this nonsense. Some malams are not competent. They don't even know, some of them, not all, some of them don't even know what they are preaching. They're just preaching hate. If you don't still understand their language, I said there should be a typewriter. Somebody must be there to interpret in English, so that a lot of people will understand. Because Nigeria, we are so many that we are not all Hausa. Let us understand what you are saying.
Islam has been a pain in the ass to we Nigerians. And the Northerners have always had this idea of Islamizing all Nigeria. And we know that Islam is under scrutiny everywhere in the world today because of the violence they perpetrate in the name of a very peaceful religion. The problem we are having in Nigeria today, that everybody is talking, lack of food, lack of security, lack of this, lack of that. That our first lady is actually accusing us of that all this thing is happening to us because of our laziness, is directly linked to Islam. We don't have food because the Islamic Boko Haram will not allow people to farm in the north. We don't have food in the west because the Islamic Fulani Asma would not allow us to farm, and we cannot do anything about them because they are protected by the authority. We are not all Muslims. This is why I'm calling on all Nigerians. I am calling you guys. It is time that we ask the government to give us the right to decide on the future of Nigeria. I know many of you will be saying, yes, after all, there are many many of our people, Yoruba, are Muslim. Listen, we will take care of the terrorists within Yoruba when the time comes. We will take care of the terrorists within our community when that time comes. But the general agreement should be on how to decide the fate of Nigeria. You cannot continue to drag us to what we don't belong into, what we don't want to be part of. In order to get rid of all the problems we're having in Nigeria today, the Nigeria government must give us the right to decide on the future through a referendum. We are not all Muslims. We cannot continue to enforce a foreign religion of hate, of all problems on us.
Have you ever wondered why in Nigeria, Christianity and Islam seem to be having are coming into loggerhead? Now, the problem is not Christianity. The problem is practitioners of Islam in Nigeria. Because I've never seen any day where a pastor, tells his followers that, hey, tomorrow we are going to attack Muslims, or tomorrow we are going to attack a mosque. It's always the other way around. Living in the north, I've grown up in my life seeing Muslim clerics preaching hate. I mean, literally preaching hate and telling their followers to hate Christians, calling Christians names, Kafri, Arne, all sort of debasing nomenclatures that can describe human beings. Now, most of these clerics, Muslim clerics, are the very problem of Islam in Nigeria, because it's like to be a cleric of Islam in Nigeria is you must have to learn how to hate Christianity. You must have to learn how to condemn the Bible. Now, Christianity has been there until 500 years later, before Islam came. Christianity has held on to itself without forcing anybody to come and join it by the tip of the sword. And nobody is unalived by leaving Christianity. Nobody gets killed because you leave Christianity or because you abuse Jesus Christ. If I am today now, if I'm here, somebody said Jesus Christ is an idiot, I'll leave Jesus Christ to fight him. But it's not the same thing with Islam. If I say Muhammad is an idiot with big head now, they'll say I've committed blasphemy. And people, self-employed or self-appointed people who are employed to protect Islam will come after me to cut off my neck. Now that's where the problem is. It appears Islam cannot survive on its own except its followers fight to protect it. Now, what kind of product doesn't stay to fight for itself? It's like giving you a book to read. I say, this book is beautiful. The message inside the book is very beautiful. Read it, your life will transform. And you read it, you take the book and you read it. And all of a sudden I say, maybe some years later I now realize that the teachings of the book is not good. And I say, okay, I don't want to have anything to do with the book again. And the owner said, no, you must hold the book. You must abide by the book. You must read by the book. You can't leave. Once you read this book, you must abide by it. Once you accept it, you must abide by it. If you refuse to abide by it, you'll be killed. Only a cult operates such a philosophy. Only a cult. Now, is Islam a cult? Answer it. Now, I strongly believe today that if you take out the violence, if you take out this self-appointed protector of Islam today and let Islam to stay on its own, I can assure you that in less than 3-4 days or 4, it will collapse. Now, a strong religion is one who survives by its ideologies. Survive by its ideology. The moment you begin to force people or take out people who don't believe, you reduce the population of the other faith so that your own population increase. That is not like some people came to my page and say that Islam is the fastest growing religion. How is it the fastest growing religion? Is it by conviction or by coercion? You go to people and eliminate the population of the other religion. Of course, if you eliminate other religions, your population will be more by comparison. And the idea that people who join the religion can't leave again, because if you leave, it is termed as apostasy, and then your life could be taken for that such an action. Then it is not a religion of conviction. Now, I don't care about your philosophy, but in this country, you don't force people to accept your ideology. And where they don't accept, you eliminate them. You don't carry a religion and have a higher than mighty status or a higher than mighty mentality that because you embrace such a faith, you are suddenly now more important or more valued than those with other faiths. You see, we're going to have a problem. So if truly there must be peace and you claim Islam is a religion of peace, then you must learn to tolerate. You must learn to put your religion to sustain itself by itself. You must test your religion by exposing it to other religion and see if it stands by itself. And not forcing, maiming, killing, burning, and threatening, and, outright, annihilation of other people who don't believe in your faith. You cannot claim your religion is superior when you don't allow the religion to sustain itself, except you obliterate other population for your religion. Let the religion stand on its own. Let it fight for itself and see if it is indeed sustainable by itself. Well, I'm not, like I said, I'm not here to look for trouble. These are my personal thoughts.
You cannot be more Muslim than the people of Saudi Arabia. You cannot be more Arab than the people of the United Arab Emirates. In fact, one of the pillars of Islam is that you have to visit Saudi Arabia for Hajj. Yes, that is to tell you how Muslim they are, because that is the origin of this religion. Now, these two countries I mentioned have zero tolerance for Islamic extremism. In fact, if you preach extremism as a foreigner, they will deport you, just like they did to that man that always apologizes for bandits, that idiot that always apologizes for bandits from Nigeria. Yes, you know him. If you preach extremism as a citizen of Saudi Arabia and as a citizen of the United Arab Emirates, they will ban you from preaching. That is how well they don't tolerate this rubbish at all. Now, These two countries I mentioned, they are so prosperous that if they tell you that it is Allah that gave them that kind of prosperity, and then you need to convert to Islam to enjoy that kind of prosperity, personally, me, I will convert. In fact, my turban will be bigger. It will be so big. It will be so big like this. That is to tell you the kind of prosperity they are enjoying. In every aspect of life, they are so prosperous. Now, who goes you in northern Nigeria that you'll be telling me about Islam? Who goes you in Syria? Who goes you in Afghanistan? Who goes you in all those countries? That is to tell you that without jihad, you people cannot spread this Islam, because the religion is not attractive. Looking at these useless countries that I mentioned. But if you go to the countries that do not tolerate extremism, that have let go of the idea of jihad, look at how prosperous they are. There are certain ideologies that belongs to the past and should be buried with the past. And jihad is one of them. That is why the people of Saudi Arabia, the people of United Arab Emirates, do not do this rubbish again. People of Saudi Arabia, they don't need jihad to convert anybody to Islam. Yes, because the kind of prosperity they enjoy in those countries have made the religion to be attractive. People want to go there. People want to practice that religion. Why is it that people will go to Saudi Arabia and dress like Muslims? Because the religion is attractive in those countries with the kind of prosperity they enjoy there. Why don't people want to go to Syria? Why are people running away from all those Syria, Iraq, Afghanistan, all those rubbish countries? Why are people running away from there? Because Islam is not attractive there. The same way a lot of people have abandoned their African traditional religion, because some of the practices they are not in tandem with modern society practice. It's the same way certain things should be abolished as well, and jihad is one of those things.
Welcome back, the great Niger people. As it be so, there is nothing anybody can tell me. As no be me they talk, and when people will be say the day inside the same knots, or people from the Arewa, the same them, they speak all this thing. There is nobody that can come to tell me that this thing is a propaganda from anybody. So I can unequivocally tell you that these are people that are pushing this, hate speech and many other things from the north are part of this terror group. Because, this hate speech is even more, or has causes more harm than this terror group, because this terror group that are buying people in Nigeria today, they are doing it as a result of what they have learned from these preachers. If these preachers now are not preaching hate or many things to them, there is no way these people now will be doing all such of thing that they have been doing. They have been doing all such of thing. Even though you came them down or government negotiate with them, they don't even give any fuck with it, because they know that, or they believe that that is what their Quran and many other things have taught them. So they believe it that as they are doing it, that is how they will be getting a lot of blessings from God, and that is how God will be opening their own Alejana room for them in heaven. That is what them now that is what is on their own mind. So there is no amount of anything or anyhow you can preach to the or calm these people down that they will listen to you again. The people where we say they feel just calm these guys, where we say they be terror group down to like come out this hate speech, where we say don't already dey inside them out. It's the same people where we say they don't preach all these things to them. So waiting government if you do, I won't tell the government. So because if a government now not talk with people where we say that they preach this hate speech or push all these things, where we say if they make this terror group, they unalive people, where we say the terror group, they see them as non-believers, make they just go after these people where we say that they push all these things first, because there are the Boko Haram that lives with us here. If you can buy the Boko Haram where we say that they live for inside town, there is no way the one in the bush now could not. There is no way you buy this one, because now this one where they inside town they give all this one leg, because as it be so, you don't get one thing where we say we've been see the other time where a man from from the north just calm in people down, they push something to them, where the other one, they say, okay, him, like him, just come online, come like tell the people that this is what they have heard. That is the same thing that this first lady has come to let the world know. Because if this first lady who is a Muslim has not come out to like tell you about waiting or what they've been taught in the mosque or in their own place of learning, there is no way you will know. So even as we are saying that there are a lot of bad northern people, the few of them are still good, because few of them want anything that can make this country to be good or make this country to go higher in everything. But the bad one among them wants only the north to just be developed. That is why everything is not it seems like everything is not possible for this country. Sorry. So what the Tinubu should do now is to just start going against anybody who will say they don't cash when they preach any hate speech or any hate this thing to the people in the mosque or in the church. Because even as we talk about the mosque, it gets some persons where we say, although you go hardly see them from inside church, because as it be for church people, what thing they know is leave anybody make you serve anything when you want serve, even though na fan I be anything where you get from inside your room when you want to serve, you know, concern them, as long as that thing that you are serving is blessing you, that is, you know, Christian for you. That is why I love the Christian people, because of what they do for people, because they don't they don't like take religion first, they take humanity first. And that is the same thing I want the Muslim to start doing now, because as long as humanity or human beings are concerned, you should take them first, because there are the first thing before religion. You know, if there is no human being, there is no way you can preach any, you know, anything or any Quran to anybody where you say you go, you know, it go make sense. If you no get anybody seated close to you, where you go they tell them or where you go they teach you, where they talk, people where you say they pass, they go see you as, you know, a mad person now. So now waiting at the try talk. So when people where you say now they preach this hate this thing they give, where they make them they turn to all this terror and, you know, create mayhem and many other things for inside this country. Not supposed to don't they like learn or calm down to like hear what people they see concerning now, because this thing with me at the here, even me many persons or even me some persons don't they day against, I go know how I go take, you know, do what they say it go stop. So now within me I they like let una know. And for those of una who be saying I get anything where won't let us know concerning what we have just explained here. If you have anything to say, just drop it below. And also if today is the first time you come here, please kindly like, share, subscribe. Thank you.